TGIF, right? TGIF. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and get started. Of course, I am reading from The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. These are reflections from the Stoic perspective. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that. I do. Thank you so much. Um, and so every month has a theme, and the theme for January is clarity. Okay. And I guess that's because we come into a new year and we have all these intentions or resolutions set, and we just have to make sure that we're clear about what they really mean and what we want to do with them. All right, so today's topic is you don't have to stay on top of everything. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Don't wish to seem knowledgeable. And if some regard you as important, distrust yourself. Let's read that again. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Don't wish to seem knowledgeable. And if some regard you as important, distrust yourself. All right, that was the quote that we're reflecting on today. And so the content is one of the most powerful things you can do as a human being in our hyper-connected 24/7 media world is say, I don't know. Or more provocatively, I don't care. Most of society seems to have taken it as a commandment that one must know every single current event, watch every episode of every critically acclaimed television series, follow the news religiously, and present themselves to others as an informed worldly individual. But where is the evidence that this is actually necessary? Is obligation enforced by the police? Or is it that you're afraid of seeming silly at a dinner party? Yes, you owe it to your country and your family to know generally about events that may directly affect them, but that's about all. How much more time, energy, and pure brain power would you have available if you drastically cut your media consumption? How much more rested and present would you feel if you no longer excited and outraged by every scandal, breaking story, and potential crisis, many of which never come to pass anyway? That's food for thought. I know a few years ago, I stopped watching as much as the news as I used to, particularly during COVID, and found out that it gave me quite a bit of anxiety because with the news, negative news sells. That's what's popular. The chaoticness of it all is all on the screen. During COVID, you would see devastation, you would see hospitals where people couldn't be treated. You heard constant stories of people dying without their loved ones because no one could get into the hospital. Um, and it was just like a state of chaos, a state of fear, a very real, um, I don't know, epidemic. But it just gave me such a sense of anxiety. But the peace came for me when we were all kind of not hibernated. What was the word for it? Um oh goodness, when we were all in together. I can't think of the word. Educator, you know what I'm talking about. Isolated? No. But we were all in the house together. And I thought of that as a blessing because all my boys they came home. They were all in college and they came home. And so we were all here together for 3 months. And it was amazing because, as young adults, I would have never gotten to spent that much time with them in an isolated scenario. So it really, really was a blessing. But that's when I realized that I can't get overly involved in all of the negativity and all of the chaos that's going on in the world. So I'm very limited. I call myself sometimes for some things intentionally ignorant because I don't want to always feel anxious. I want to be informed, but not overly informed so that it consumes me. I do what I can. I respond where I can, I help where I can, but I don't let it consume me. So that's one of the things that I gained from the passage today. The other thing I think that's very important is sometimes too, we can be so, and I'm guilty. So I'm not saying we, just we, I'm saying me. Let me say me. I can be guilty of going down a rabbit hole. Good morning. Oh, so grateful. It's so good to see you, friend. I can go down a rabbit hole of things on social media, even things on whatnot. And I start, there, what we see on social media is the highlight reel. We don't see all of the work that goes behind it. We don't see all of the struggles that have to happen before someone goes live or before someone posts. When we're talking about just social media, we see all the good, you know. A lot of times the bad, the challenges, they're not talked about. I have three friends within one relative and two other friends who in the last week have lost children, between 17 years old and 30. Oh, I'm so glad that you're able to be here this morning. So good to see you, friend, always. And that just puts things in perspective. Everything that glitters is not gold. And so we have to realize that there's a before story to what we see as glorious, and there's an after story to that as well. Okay. So let's focus, like we said yesterday, let's focus on what's in front of us. Let's focus on what's in front of us. And let's not get caught up in this microwave society that it looks like we just pop something in for 30 seconds and all of a sudden we have success. Or we pop something in for a couple of minutes and our total situation changes and it's just perfect, because that indeed is not happening. Okay? This will be what we'll end on today. It is a quote by Helen Keller, and it reads, "One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar." Let's read that again. One can never consent to creep when one feels the impulse to soar. So if you want to soar, don't ever think that we're going to do it in a very, very slow manner. Just do it. We said it yesterday. Just do it. Just go for it. Every single time we go for it and fail, that's one step closer to us winning. And I love, thank you, educator. Yes, yes. I love the fact that I think Michael Jordan, there's a big quote out there for him, and he specifically gives the numbers of how many shots he took and how many shots he missed to become one of the world's very best basketball players. And the whole idea is he would have never made those shots had he not taken all of the other shots, the attempts, had the shots that he missed to learn from it and train that muscle memory and develop a better skill. He's naturally talented, but talent without work gets us nowhere. Nowhere. We can be the most talented person in the room, and if we don't put the work behind it, guess what? Talent is not being used. Okay? So you can outwork the most talented person and actually supersede their achievements. I tell my boys that all the time when we were talking about, of course, education is big for me. So that always came as a priority. But when we talked about athletics, we always talked about, your work ethic. That's what it's all about. It's all about being the best you can be to contribute to the team. All right. It's not always about you getting the highlights. It's not always about, every time you get the ball, you have to run it in for a touchdown. It's about the effort that you put in at 100%, no days off, to be the best that you can on game day. Okay. Every game is not going to be a good one. We review the tape, we learn our lessons, we make it better. As educators, we look at what we did for our lesson planning, we look at the lesson we delivered, we give an assessment to our students, and typically that assessment, particularly if they're common mistakes, will, after reflection, it will tell us what we can do to improve, how we need to teach something a little bit better, or with a different strategy. And so we take that same approach in all that we do. Take action, reflect on the action, see where you felt when you and where about you met your goal, pivot, adjust, and rinse and repeat. Okay? So I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I will still be on tomorrow and Sunday. It may not be as early. I may take the opportunity to sleep in, so I'll schedule that show. But bookmark them. I think I have them up already, so just bookmark them, and it'll notify you when I'm coming on. It'll still be in the morning, okay? And what do you all have planned this weekend? Anything planned? Thank you so much. Anything planned special this weekend? All right. Well, with that, we're going to go have an amazing, amazing Friday. Thank you so much for joining you all. Nothing major, rounding up birthday freebies. Yay! I forgot. Yes, yes, yes. Happy belated. Happy belated. Just stuff to do. Yes, I understand. Well, y'all have a great weekend. Have an amazing day. And just think of one thing that you can do differently today that will make your day just a little better. Just one thing, one incremental thing. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love to you. Bye now.